The suspicious disappearance of this beautiful young mother has cops in Atlanta baffled. Athena Curry mysteriously vanished from the home of her baby's father in the middle of the night.
With no purse, no phone, and no child.
She had an extremely strong bond with the son. I have a hard time believing that she would just leave him.
Why didn't she come back?
Athena was a beautiful 20-year-old college student who dreamed of one day becoming a pediatrician.
And she loved to write.
Remembering Athena with our Michelle Sagona brings tears to the eyes of her big sister, Aisha.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Just take the time you need.
Aisha was even at Athena's side in the delivery room when she gave birth to her son, King.
She was a great mom. Sorry. Thought I was gonna do better. Sorry.
Athena was totally devoted to the child for the precious first 16 months of his life.
But wherever she was, King was.
And just before she disappeared, an excited Athena surprised Aisha with the news that she and King were about to become one big happy family with the child's 26-year-old father, Yusuf Ibn Mujahid.
She said, guess what? Me and Yusuf are gonna find our own place together. That was like a shocker, because I didn't even know they were communicating or even seeing each other.
Aisha says the two had been on again, off again for several years.
They would fight, and that was what scared me about the relationship.
Aisha claims Athena told her Yusuf had physically abused her in the past. Once Aisha alleges on the very day Athena was being discharged from the hospital after giving birth to his child.
He had tasered her with a taser gun.
He tasered her inside the hospital.
Inside the hospital.
She told you? Did she call the police?
She did not call the police.
And according to Sergeant Cherie Herbert, there had been other violent incidents.
2 days prior to her disappearance, she was outside screaming and hollering for the neighbors to call the police, and Yusuf was beating her on the ground.
Police say Yusuf had likewise alleged that Athena was violent towards him, once attacking him with a pair of scissors.
They'd been fighting, and at some point she injured him.
And in her last conversation with Athena, Aisha says she actually warned her sister to be careful after she'd taken her son and gone to spend a weekend house hunting with Yusuf.
What I said to her was, I'm calling to check on you to make sure Yusuf didn't put you in a grave somewhere. That is how fearful I was of her spending any time with him.
Eerily, Aisha would never see nor hear from her little sister again.
So I speak to her that Friday. She doesn't come home that Monday and her phone's dead. Like at this point, I'm sick, scared.
More than 3 days would go by before Aisha says she would get a text message from Yusuf, asking if she'd seen Athena, and telling her she'd stormed out of his house at 3 a.m. the night she arrived.
Not only does he say he doesn't know where she is, he said that she's been gone since Friday, and now it's Tuesday.
And detectives tell our Michelle Sagona Yusuf admitted that on the night Athena disappeared, she'd made a shocking discovery, one that led her to believe he was cheating on her.
She happened to get a hold of his phone and saw some text messages from another female, and apparently there was an argument. Next thing you know, she walks out of the house, never to be heard or seen from again.
Yusuf denied having anything to do with her disappearance. And Detective David Stribling says there was no evidence of foul play at Yusuf's house.
It did not appear a physical altercation or a crime had happened.
Do you consider him a person of interest?
Absolutely, because he was the last one who spoke to Athena, and he shared a relationship with her and has a child with her.
Are there any other persons of interest right now in this case you would want to identify publicly?
No, not at this time.
Police and family don't believe Athena would disappear of her own volition, abandoning the child she loved so dearly.
Not plausible.
She may walk away from the relationship, but she wouldn't have walked away from King.
Vincent Hill, a freelance journalist who has investigated Athena's baffling disappearance, believes police need a huge break to crack the case.
They either need Athena to say, hey, I'm alive, or they need Athena to say, hey, I'm not alive, if you understand what I mean. They need Athena's body.
Do you think there's any chance your sister is alive?
No.
And Aisha, who has adopted King, now 7, can only hope and pray that by some miracle Athena will be found alive and reunited with her son.
Every time I get him dressed, I always say, Athena, I hope I'm making you proud.
We did try multiple times to talk to Yusef Ibn Muzahid about Athena's disappearance. The first time we were in Atlanta, he was in jail. This after 3 separate incidents involving 2 other girlfriends. He has since been charged with multiple felony counts, including aggravated assault and strangulation. He has pleaded not guilty to those charges and has been recently released on bond.